Good morning, everybody. It's your old pal Danny from Body Politic Media. I just wanted to do a video giving an update on where things are at on the vacant Supreme Court seat. Everybody in the world knows that Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away a few days ago. There's a lot of comments out there about how she should have retired when Obama was president, and that would have been nice, but it didn't happen, and she's gone. So I just wanted to talk about what is going on going forward. I have a couple of clips for you. First, it's going to be Lindsey Graham last night or this morning, and he's updating where the Senate Republican caucus is as far as votes to confirm a new justice. So this is Lindsey Graham. Check out what he has to say.
We've got the votes to confirm Justice Ginsburg's replacement before the election. We're going to move forward in the committee. We're going to report the nomination out of the committee to the floor of the United States Senate so we can vote before the election. That's the constitutional process. After Kavanaugh, everything changed with me. They're not going to intimidate me, Mitch McConnell, or anybody else. I'm getting outraised 3-1, outspent 4-1. If you want to help me fight back, go to lindseygraham.com. $5 or $10 from half your audience would fill in the gap that I'm facing. But we're going to have a process that you'll be proud of. The nominee is going to be supported by every Republican in the Judiciary Committee, and we've got the votes to confirm the justice on the floor of the Senate before the election, and that's what's coming.
All right. So that's Lindsey Graham. He is the chairman of the Judiciary Committee in the Senate, and he says that they have the votes to confirm a justice before the election in November. There was a question. There was like 5 or 6 Republican senators out there that might be on the fence. Most of them are up for re-election this year in blue states. The Republicans have a 53-47 majority in the Senate, so the Democrats would need 4 Republican defectors, and so far there's only 2 Republicans that have come out and said that they are going to vote no on a new justice before the election. That's Susan Collins in Maine. She's running for re-election. And it's Lisa Murkowski in Alaska. But other than that, the other senators that were on the fence, Cory Gardner in Colorado says that he's going to vote to confirm. Mitt Romney just came out this morning, said the same. So it looks like they have the votes. And I'm thinking that they have a good shot of filling that seat before the election. So now the question is, what are the Democrats going to do? There are a lot of options for them on ways to block this. In the Senate, if they wanted to, they could shut down the entire Senate. And, there's a bunch of stuff they can do. There's a government shutdown coming. So they could use that as leverage. So I have a clip of Nancy Pelosi the other day, and she was asked on what she would do. Now, Nancy Pelosi, of course, is not in the Senate, so she has cover. But being Speaker of the House, there are things that she can do to slow things down or stop a nomination to the Supreme Court. So this is Nancy Pelosi, and this is what she has to say.
You are in the middle of negotiations over government funding. The government runs out of funding at the end of September. Is there any way you can use leverage in those negotiations to slow this nomination down?
Well, none of us has any interest in shutting down government. That has such a harmful and painful impact on so many people in our country. So I would hope that we can just proceed with that. There is some enthusiasm among some exuberance on the left to say, let's use that, but we're not going to be shutting down government. I do hope, though, that the focus on health care and what it means in terms of the courts will have public opinion be of such magnitude that the Republicans will finally address the coronavirus crisis, finally subscribe to a plan to crush the virus, to listen to scientists about testing, tracing, treatment, mask wearing, sanitation, ventilation, social distancing. Why have we not adopted?
All right, that's enough. So Nancy Pelosi and the leadership in the Democratic Senate, seems to concur with her that they're not really going to do anything. They're not going to pull out any stops, any nuclear options or whatever. they're just going to kind of let this happen. So, you know, as far as the Republicans go, I don't think they really care about any sort of consequences of rushing through a Supreme Court nomination. You know, they run the risk of being called massive hypocrites, but I don't think they care. I don't think they care about hypocrisy. I don't think their voters or their voter base cares about looking like hypocrites. You know, they care about filling court seats. You know, I've said before, the Supreme Court is the grand prize for these people, you know, Republicans in Congress and Republican voters. So, you know, do they run the risk of losing the Senate if they do this before the election? I mean, yeah, it might hurt their chances, you know, but I don't think they really care about that. I think that's a trade-off that the Republicans are willing to make, because to a certain extent, they have pretty much accomplished like their life's work. You know, a lot of these guys, Mitch McConnell in particular, you know, their main goals were to pass tax cuts for the rich, tax cuts for corporations, and they've done that massively. You know, the 1% in corporations are paying the lowest taxes they ever have, I think, in at least modern history. And those are permanent, and the Democrats have already signaled that they have no intention of repealing those. So tax cuts are done, and if they can replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg, you know, they're going to have at least a 6-3 conservative court for life. Or at least for, you know, the next couple of generations. So their work is kind of done. So I don't think the Republicans really care. I mean, they run the risk of losing the Senate, but I think they'd rather just, you know, give up the Senate. They already have the courts. They already have their tax cuts. And, you know, the Democrats, they don't really seem to care either. You know, you would think that they would care about having a 6-3 court because of, you know, for instance, reproductive rights would be in danger, serious danger, but they don't seem to be wanting to put up any sort of big fight. You know, and on top of that, I don't think that either party really wants to be in power in the coming years. I mean, we have a massive economic meltdown coming, and I don't think anybody really wants to be in power. It's kind of like a game of hot potato. So I guess we're screwed. If I had to guess, I think that they're going to be able to fill the seat before the election, and it doesn't really seem like anybody really cares in Washington. So that's where we're at. We'll see what happens. Anything can happen. And for us on the left, you know, all we can really do is deal with what's coming and continue trying to get as many of our people into Congress, into positions of power, and keep building our coalitions and that sort of thing. So it's not looking too good, guys. I don't really have much hope at this moment. So thanks for watching. That's where we're at. And when things change, I will update everybody. So stay safe out there. Peace and love from Montana. And God help us all. See you guys later.